Well, Texas Longhorns got done beating Rice 34-17. It was. I thought it was solid overall for Texas. No, it wasn't flashy at all. And as I said, and a lot of Longhorns fans are going to get used to not throwing the ball over the field and really running the score up on people and stuff. It's going to be a more, a slower, more methodical kind of offense, and you saw that today. Hit some chinks, especially in the first half. Couldn't get a touchdown in the first quarter. Rice had a great drive to start the game off. Surprised me. I didn't think Rice would have much offense. And it really wasn't McGuffey. It was, I thought Tyler Smith much better back than McGuffey. McGuffey looked like, I don't know how many times he ran backwards, like 10, 15 yards, trying to make another YouTube highlight film. And, he was costing his team. The dude's talented. But he needed to just settle down and just run the football and take whatever Texas was giving him, like Smith did. Smith, especially at the end of the game, was getting Rice some yards. Texas running game, it was definitely different. It was nice to see a running game work, and I know it's Rice, so you can't really build a lot of that. But it wasn't very flashy at all. It was a very 4 or 5 yard gains, and I felt all three backs did real well, and the offensive line did a good job blocking. But Cody started. Trey got most of the I think Trey got all the touchdowns, at least on offense. And then Fozzie, of course, came in. I thought all three backs did a really good job. All of them ran hard. From what I hear, though, from here in Austin, that all three guys have a great relationship. There's not any hard feelings or anything. All three of them want the other guys to do well. It's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of the Dallas Cowboys three running backs. That they switch them in and stuff like that. One's a power back, one's your medium back, and one's your small quick back. And I think whenever we finally get our feet underneath ourselves, we can make this work. I mean, of course, we don't know how real good this is going to be until we play some really good teams. But props to Rice for really sticking with us. Garrett Gilbert, he's probably what the main focus was. Gilbert was all right. He had about 5 or 6 passes that were definitely young quarterback passes. Tried to force the ball in a few times, kind of lopped a little bit, but the dude's pretty accurate overall. Not big numbers. I think he had 170 yards passing, no touchdowns. But we had a couple passes that he got, especially one down to John Childs, guys on the 2 yard line to get it in. So frustrating things, of course. First part of the defense wasn't great. Also, especially the first part of the game, we couldn't punch the ball in. We got it down there at 4th and 1. Tried to do an outside run, didn't get it. And that's frustrating, especially, we've seen that before from Texas, but you shouldn't do that against Rice. And there's going to be, Oklahoma and Nebraska, they're going to stop you even worse than Rice will. But we controlled the ball better, which we haven't done. And I can definitely see the game's going to be quicker for Texas now. And, especially with a guy like Cody Johnson and Trey Newton as well. You've got guys who, when we can open them lanes, we can start killing some clock, which we haven't been able to do forever. We've been a team that's just hope we've got enough points on the board, and usually we have. But this is going to be nice too as well. So overall, looking at the defense, you got Keenan Robinson getting after it, Keyston Randall. I love seeing Jackson Jeffcoat in there, a freshman guy you're going to see a lot of. Of course, we had a lot of the main problem with the team today: missed opportunities and a lot of points left on the field. Chalky Brown and Aaron Williams both had pick sixes that they both dropped. Of course, we talked about how we couldn't punch the ball in a few times. And also, points that they scored. Both touchdowns they had were off of, one was a freak play. Kitchens caught the ball off a deflection right there at the end of the half. That got their first touchdown. And then the last touchdown came when Aaron Williams, for some reason, on a punt, tried to field it when there was like 40 seconds left. Both teams just trying to get out of there. He tries to field it, muffs it. Rice gets the ball back, and they score right there. I think like 11 or 6 seconds left, something like that. So, of course, I'm sorry about so anyone who bet on the game and bet for Texas, I think Aaron Williams will write you an apology note because we did have the game covered until that happened. So, that was just little mistakes like that you don't want to see. But I don't think things that we'll be making mistakes we won't be making in bigger and more meaningful games. So, with all that said, winning 34-17 with all that that happened, I think it was pretty good. We definitely looked a lot better than Florida did. A lot of people making comparisons between Texas and Florida because it's two, legendary quarterbacks of those schools being replaced. Watch the Florida game. Mostly was a center. I thought Brantley did a pretty good job for them. from what you got to see. I don't know if we got to see a whole lot from him because the center was terrible, and the guys would hold the ball for him. So I think Brantley definitely is going to be a good quarterback. But I think overall Florida had a lot of kinks and a lot of things they're going to have to address. With Texas, I think it's just getting better. We did well today, just got to improve. So I was pleased with the outcome. Pleased with what we got to see next week in another game like this in Austin against Wyoming, and then our first true test over in Lubbock against Texas Tech, and we'll see what this team's made of on defense and on offense. So it's going to be a fun year this year. Like I said, like what I saw from overall, but need some improvements as well. So see you guys next week when we play Wyoming. Hook 'em horns, Texas fight.